2000 to prevent Boston, Oakland, and Toronto from getting him, the Yankees claimed Jose Canseco.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Right.
Wow. Totally forgot he was a Yankee.
Yeah. My God, was he bad for the Yankees.
I think he sold his finger on eBay if we want to get into Jose Canseco.
The guy once filled his car with jet fuel. Who does that?
He's such a freaky guy. He's the Dennis Rodman of baseball.
He really is.
He actually is.
Oh, wow. I totally forgot he was a Yankee. That's so weird.
Yes, he was a Yankee for 2 months and earned a World Series ring for it.
Unbelievable. Was that the only one he ever got?
No.
No, he did win in '89.
With the Bash brothers, right?
Yeah.
With McGuire and him, right?
Yeah, he did win in '89. And he has an MVP, too. Unbelievable.
Yes, but I even vaguely remember the Mets pulling a September trade for somebody who helped them down the stretch.
I know.
He won he was a pitcher. I think he won 3 games in September and couldn't play during postseason.
That I don't remember. I know Sweeney was late. On Baseball Reference, it says August. I thought for sure it was September. So I may be wrong there. So, it's kind of interesting how it works out. It does get complicated if you're not a baseball fan. But if you are a baseball fan, calm down. You're still going to see a bunch of trades. Sean, I know you're upset that guys like Mesoraco and Bautista didn't go. Don't worry. They'll be traded.
I'm surprised guys like Flores didn't go. I feel like he would have been a hot commodity.
I like Flores a lot. He's a fan favorite. I understand why the Mets didn't trade him.
Butts in the seats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right, Martin, thanks for the call.
Have a good evening, gentlemen.
You too.
Thank you.
He wanted to say afternoon there. So
I know, but he did catch himself. He did catch it.
So what are your thoughts on the Gausman trade?
You know what's fun? Well, actually, not funny because I don't like the Orioles. But so
nobody does.
Well, especially not even now. Orioles fans don't like the Orioles right now.
There are fans in Baltimore that will root for the Nationals.
I can
see that.
I can't blame them. They're the better team.
How many times we turn on a Yankee-Orioles game at Camden Yards, and there are more Yankee fans there than Orioles fans?
And you know what? It's so funny because my parents have went down to a game in Baltimore to see a Yankee.
Beautiful stadium.
I have only been there on a tour, not even in Camden Yards. I was in the warehouse. It was a very...
Oh, that's nothing. You gotta go.
It was cool. It was very cool in the warehouse. I've never been to Camden Yards for a game. I would like to go. So, Dad, I would like to go at some point. I mean, I know you're working right now. Maybe you hear me. My phone's dead, so you can't yell at me to say, no, we're not going or whatever. So,
that's
whatever.
your Christmas gift for him.
Yeah, thanks. But, look, I do want to go down to Camden Yards. It looks absolutely amazing. And you're right, because I think the only 2 stadiums where we don't see, even just half and half between Yankee fans and whoever is mainly Fenway Park or Toronto, because, it's just a huge mixture. If it's either Baltimore or Tampa Bay, the majority of them are Yankee fans. It's actually quite funny. It's like playing a home game. But you know what? I like Darren O'Day more than I like Kevin Gausman. I think Darren O'Day has a spot in any relief situation. I truly do. I actually kind of just lost my spot for a second, and I just found it.
Don't say that. You hit it pretty well.
No, it's okay. But the Braves can use him. The Braves can use a guy like Darren O'Day. Kevin Gausman, I'm not the biggest fan in the world. I know him and Greg Bird are tight, but, it's just, it's a nothing trade in that sense for Gausman. I don't think he's that great. I do think that although he was on a bad team in Baltimore, he barely got any run support, except against the Yankees. For somehow they still have trouble against them. But it's funny how baseball works. It's a very funny sport. But you know what?
I'm sorry, were you finished?
I'm about to be. I think the Braves won this deal.
Giancarlos Encarnacion is another guy who does everything well, but nothing great. And I like those guys. Those are 5-tool guys. Those are the guys that I look to as really good prospects. Brett Cumberland, he's the 30th best prospect, according to MLB.com. He's not great. He's not horrible. It's fair for both sides. You're right, Eric. Gausman's a nothing. Darren O'Day, I did like watching him pitch, just because I do like watching submarine guys pitch. Overall, I'll say it's an even trade.
Fair enough.
You're listening to Beyond the Game on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We are live twice a week, Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 3 p.m. I am Jacob Volk. Sitting across from me, Eric Fischetti and Matt Charkowick. Number to call if you have something on your mind is 516-572-7440. And we're almost done with MLB trades.
Wow.
I can't believe we got through them
We did
all.
it, boys.
Time to turn into Owen Wilson. Wow.
Wow.
I don't think we'll get to the minor ones, the Brad Brocks and Brad Zieglers of the world. This is really the last big one. The Orioles traded Jonathan Scope to the Brewers for Jonathan Villar, Luis Ortiz, and Gene Carmona. This year, Scope's hitting .244 with 17 home runs and 40 RBIs. Villar's hitting .261 with 6 home runs and 22 RBIs. And according to MLB.com, Ortiz and Carmona were Milwaukee's 7th and 14th best prospects, respectively. Who do you think won the trade?
I gotta say, that's a lot to give up. That is a lot to give up for a guy like Jonathan Scope.
It really is. Edge Orioles by a landslide.
Yeah, I would say Edge Orioles because I think the Brewers kind of screwed up here.
They really did.
I mean, I know the
they
stats.
don't like Villar. I know that for a fact.
I know the stats don't really jump out, but, 261 with 6 home runs. The 261
He
jumps
also
out.
has, I think, like 12 or 14 steals, something like that.
Yeah, but the batting average really stands out to me a lot more than the home runs do. He hits for average. He's not really a big home run hitter, according to this.
No, Villar's never been. He's been a guy who can get on base and who can create havoc on the base paths. I like Villar. I know that the Brewers don't, but I do. I had him on my fantasy team last year.
I think they made a mistake.
They made a huge mistake. Giving up Jonathan Villar for Jonathan Scope. I'll take Villar for Scope any day of the week. And Luis Ortiz is a guy who has an excellent fastball, an excellent slider. I can't believe the Brewers did this.
I can't believe the Orioles did this either.
Well,
I
why-
mean, because, I can't believe that the Orioles did this in the sense of, what? Are you serious? Yes.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that. Like that kind of thing.
And Gene Carmona, he'll never be a great hitter, but he can run, he can field. There's a role for that in the bigs. Luis Ortiz, though, that's the guy who it really hurts to see go to the Orioles here. I could see this guy creating a lot of havoc for the Yankees in the future.
Yay.
I'm higher on him than most, I'll be honest with you. So, I mean, there's really not much else to say. We got about 3.5 minutes left. We did it, boys!
I can't believe that.
We did it!
What a very
sprint.
what a very successful trade
Not even
deadline,
sprint,
if
a
I do
marathon.
say so myself.
I'll tell you who the real winners of the MLB trade deadline are. The Beyond the Game crew.
Okay, now in all seriousness, who do you think wins this trade deadline?
That's the sound of me crumpling up the papers.
What a beautiful sight to see. No, but who do you think actually won this deadline?
Oh, wow. Good question. I like what the Astros did, getting Ryan Presley and getting Roberto Osuna. Forget the off-the-field stuff. From a strictly baseball perspective, the Astros had a fantastic deadline. So did the Dodgers. Getting Manny Machado at the All-Star break was huge. I like the Cubs getting Cole Hamels, reinforcing their rotation, moving Tyler Chatwood to the bullpen, even though Chatwood's owed a lot of money. I like when teams do that. They just say, you know what? You're a sunk cost. You're going to hurt us going forward. We're going to put you in the bullpen for the time being, and we'll see if you can turn it around in the future.
And time will tell in that sense. And you know what's funny? The Yankees and the Red Sox are in kind of similar shoes here. Like, they needed to revamp the starting rotation, if you will. The Red Sox got Eovaldi, for better or for worse. The Yankees got Jay Happ.
Eovaldi looked good in his start, though.
So did Happ.
Yeah.
But you know what? They just
Well,
need to...
Eovaldi was against the better teams, though. That's what.
That's
concerns
true.
me.
Fine, fair enough. But either way, they both won the game. I know Happy was kind of like a snore fest because, the Royals are bad. But you know what? It's a game that he needed to win. It's a confidence booster for him, and they won the game. So, all the props to him. The Yankees just need to go to war. And I'm talking about them for a second. They can't worry about the Red Sox. They can't worry about anything else. Just worry about winning your games. The Red Sox can't seem to lose right now. Don't worry about them.
This series against Boston coming up is the most important series that they've had this year. It is so vital to them. They need to win it. Forget about a split. They
got to win the whole thing. Absolutely.
I'll take a sweep. Let me tell you.
I would take a sweep, too. You kidding me?
Anybody would.
All right, we got about a minute left. It's time for the bottom of the 9. Eric, we'll start with you.
So we talked enough baseball for today, so this kind of goes out to East Rutherford, New Jersey, towards the New York Giants. Obviously, in the middle of the NFL offseason, Dave Gettleman was diagnosed with cancer. Happy to announce that the Giants' general manager's cancer has been in remission. So he is good to go. He's full of life. He lost his hair. He kind of looks better. He's got jokes all the time. Be like, I can wash my face and my head at the same time. He's just a great guy to be around. And I'm telling you right now, this Giants season, they might surprise a lot of people, but this season is for Gettleman.
I think best case scenario for them is 8-8. Matt?
Fair enough.
I'm going to switch over to hardwood. So officially, Carmelo Anthony has parted ways with the Hawks. They officially agreed to a buyout. He will be getting $28 million total. He only gives away $2.4 million. So
which is the amount that he's going to get from Houston.
Yeah, exactly. He's only going to Houston. I don't see him going to play with his buddy LeBron. It just won't work.
I think he should. I thought that made a lot.
It would make sense, but you know what?
It's not going to happen.
I just don't. Those two guys, you know how those guys are personality-wise, and just how they're going to work on the floor. I just don't see it.
Carmelo got paid to not play basketball. He's a real winner.
Yes, he
like
is
Dwight
the winner.
Howard with the Nets and Darren Williams. So Sam Darnold finally got his rookie contract signed. If he's half the quarterback that I want him to be, no one will remember this. If he's the quarterback that I think he would have been coming out of the draft, we're going to look at this as a defining moment of his career. All right. Looks like we're about out of time here on Beyond the Game. For Eric Fischetti and Matt Charkowick, I am Jacob Volk saying that I was 3 over on the golf course the other day. 1 over a house, 1 over a patio, and 1 over a swimming pool.